Okay, I am going to be playing the beginner's guide, and I have never played this before. I haven't even watched the trailer, but I'm excited to see what it's about. And also, I'm Kate.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
I've got a feeling the narrator is going to be important for this one, kind of like Stanley Parable. But I'm interested to see if these games are actually real, like if there actually is a Coda, and these are actual demos. Oh.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure imminent.
Alright.
This game is called Escape
aliens?
from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Bam. Oh boy. Crap. I gotta evacuate. Oh. I'm out of bullets. Reload. Whisper machine. It's activated.
Security code reached.
Because I've got a feeling these games aren't actually real. Like, this wasn't actually a person who made these, and it was more so
It kind of looks like this
narrative.
game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Dang.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I saw that. Anything? No. Okay. Let me in. Oh, this does feel very realistic as just a, you know, doing whatever in Game Maker type thing.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
No.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper Machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could
Me?
save us all. That
Okay.
beam is powering the Whisper Machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I will sacrifice my life. Bam.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. I'm back. I didn't die. Please let me sacrifice myself. Oh. Oh my god. Space.
The beam causes
The
you to start
maze.
floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it.
Yeah.
Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system.
This is kind of beautiful.
Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
You know, I wonder if this is actually about the narrator himself. Like, this is actually... The past was behind her. Like, this is actually a recreation of some of the, demos, and... I cannot move. Please. Anyway, sorry. Some of the demos and games... Oh, I
So
can
try
jump.
walking backwards.
Oh. The game basically just called me dumb.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Interesting. I cannot move side to side either. So how do I move backwards if there's a wall? Oh. Okay. Huh.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the
future cannot
previous
be
game, but
seen.
actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice
keep
rather than
changing.
simply
Why does
basing
the
it on
future
a
keep
pre-existing trope.
I'm back. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
You are now entering the abyss.
And that's it.
Oh,
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
okay. Nonsense. in
Oftentimes,
every
Coda would
direction.
put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I am. Oh,
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why,
Let me
if
in.
Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
oh. On X. Stand on an X staring at a bear for 3 hours. A game where. Oh! So it's all of his ideas for games? Live on a boat taking orders from the captain.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs strategically to make the most money before you die.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening. You start in a small room until you realize you can. Aww. I wanted to read all the ideas. Some of those actually sounded interesting. A lot of them did. But in a sort of way that I don't think. They would have to be very fleshed out, obviously, to make full games. But I do think it's kind of interesting what this game is doing here. With these little, I mean, they're not really games, they're more so just short experiences. I am curious to see how this is all going to bring each other
Well, this
together.
is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I no longer think these are actual demos made by somebody. I do think this is for, a larger narrative purpose. Okay, so puzzle. I don't love just walking into the darkness. So I'm thinking that's not what you're actually supposed to do. Okay, you can't go back. Ceiling. Guessing something on the ground. Like you have to do this.
All right, let me just walk you through it. You're going to hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes. You'll see a second switch on the inside, which will open the second door. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're going to see it a lot.
So the fact that it was willing to walk me through how that solution worked tell me that this game definitely wants to keep you moving through it. It doesn't really care about the puzzle solving or any of that.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Thank you, narrator. Oh.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Back to this game. Let me into the abyss. You are now exiting.
So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The Great and Lovely Descent.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Okay, it kicked me out for a second there, but I just clicked back in, and I don't think I missed much. Okay, we're going to jail. I don't like those noises. I don't like those noises. Ah! I genuinely can't. I genuinely can't. Please, game, no more such moves. I am too sensitive for this.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Let me in!
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable. whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Yeah. That is, I guess an interesting idea, but non-playable game. I don't know.
It's the puzzle again.
Okay,
with
I know
the
how to do
exact
it
same
this time.
solution as the last time.
I genuinely promise I don't need the game to let me how to do it again.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with
loves
you
his
my
puzzle.
interpretation very shortly. Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
You there, did you come from up above? What was up there? Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. Well, from up above... a world stamped with whiteness. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I'd prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. Well, I'll tell them. I did. Perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Well, I feel like 2 is accurate, considering the narrator helped me solve it the first time, so... You didn't solve it? So you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there will be someone else. Okay. So I just failed that interaction. It's not letting me up there. Anything else? Okay. Bye, guys. Here we go again. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space between the doors? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall the space between the doors. Was it talking about like the doorway I went through? I actually don't remember this, what it's referring to, so I am just gonna say that I don't recall. Don't worry, I'm sure you will visit it again soon. Be sure to pay close attention. Alright, I'm paying attention for the black space between doors.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Not talking about this, is it? Oh, the black space between the doors. I know what it's talking about now. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination.
He wants it to be leading to the lamp.
Which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Is that true? Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to
How do
the
you beat
internet.
this game?
All
Okay.
of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very
Can you
level,
hear me?
and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing
But
I've
it's
ever
ironic,
seen.
isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I suppose so. Can't get over that way. I really just want to jump onto that landmass over there, but I'm assuming I either can't or I have to go this way. No! Please, let me jump. This way down? Okay, it is actually a giant hill and not just going to the abyss like I believe so. need to go to the bathroom. Recognize me, please. I mean, it's not really showing the creator's inner world. There's nothing here, go back. Don't listen to that guy. It's not really showing the creator's inner world if he's pretending to be players connected to the internet. Especially when... New room! I would like very much to be desired. Will you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. Okay, now I feel like we are definitely getting some more... A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. That actually reminds me of the YouTube comment sections with under like pretty music. Take my hand, let's jump together. Okay. Aww. Cabbage shapes our nation. Don't listen to the other note. I'm not safe. Today I learned you cannot fall off. I saw a person walking down there, now we'll come back. I hope not. I saw Cabbage Shapes Our Nation up there. I see up from up close and purple from far. Art. Stop faking it. His terrible secret, he kept it well.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it.
Almost there.
And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
What do I do? Help. How do you solve it? Okay, I could not solve it either the first time.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Someone made it through. Me? What are those sounds? Because I do not like it. Please stop typing or whatever you're doing. Lamps! Are you there? Please do something. If you need anything, I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay, I am stuck in jail. I just got scared for a sec.
See, like, this is it, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2, we're still in the prison, but there... What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? I would like a giant hole. What? That is not a hole, that is a table. Okay, now what about along the hall of the room? A giant picture of a horse, a washing machine, or 10 stoves? Let's go 10 stoves. Rah. Okay, so it's not listening to what we want. What should we use to lighten up the room? Let's put a skylight. A table. You need a table. Who are you? What exactly are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making a difference. Tables were invented in 1935. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Huh.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please lock forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Well, there's no table, but... Good, go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. Okay. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Let's hope I can remember that. Alright, bring me back to prison. Please. I know how to escape it. Alright.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Bro, where's my table?
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen.
He feels trapped.
Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go,
Well, maybe he was just
maybe
having
there
fun
are
with
game
it."
ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
The lamp! We made it back. Let me go home real quick. No, please let me in. Thank you. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Okay, I'm realizing that my picture of me probably is covering the choices here. So real quick, I'm going to move myself to the other side. And sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Yep, I was in the furniture maze. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? It feels great. Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. It's kind of strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in the prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. I'm kind of forgetting what the prison was like. Really? How long has it been since you got out? About 30 seconds. Years or only a few minutes? I think I'm in the middle of minutes. But this is the worst, most desperate thing I've ever been through. How could you possibly forget it? I promise it's not as bad right now as you think it is. You don't ever forget it, you just stop identifying with it. Anything can seem infinite when you're drenched in it. Yeah. Well, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. I feel like just talk. Talk to me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just talk to me and it makes sense. It's be comforting. I promise it works. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I will be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh gosh, not one of the talking heads. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality
worry
of the
about
art is
me.
a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. And lousy homes make home loners. Are we cleaning this whole place? Let's go with the pun. Something tells me you're going to be fun to do this job with. Well, this place isn't going to clean itself, as far as I know. I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Sure. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Sure. Okay, bathroom. Bedroom. Let's make the bed. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? Okay, I am going to move my face again because I know that it is blocking the options. Okay. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Let's ask if they enjoy it. Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out here? Sure. He's not doing much cleaning. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there? I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Yeah, I'll try and get by. Tell me. No. It was stupid, sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? No, I wanted him to tell us. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about scrub it down as best you can? Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put it back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic
These
experience
chores ever
where
end?
you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have to absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to feature you?
I know that
Present you
Coda
wants
really
to
liked
smooth out
this
the rug in
game.
the bedroom, believe it or not.
Of all
Just
his
know
work,
this one.
actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why it felt so weird to say that. I get it, that's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right, that's pretty cheesy. there's a bit of truth to it. We'll be cheesy back. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Don't make me clear the table again. Books. I guess you have to keep doing these things over and over again. Most tasks are like that.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But,
enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I really like the music in that level. That did feel like a happy little level. I like that one. Lamp!
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and
made
move.
it back.
I really thought that was the point of it.
I still am having trouble. Items you love at
This
members
one
only
gets a
prices.
bit goofy.
Oh boy. Why did you come here today? To learn? To improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. Okay. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. Why are we getting closer? And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortless. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About halfway
easy.
through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect
shifts.
is effortless. Bro. This
And
is
you
the
play
key.
as the teacher.
How do I
Suddenly,
achieve it with
you
no
discover
effort?
that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work. Oh, I can't say to work there, I don't think. Oh. Shoot. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Oh, so Grace has internal thoughts and yellow is what he's saying? Or what she's saying? Haha, just kidding. Anyone want... There is no truth. There is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Holy crap, you guys. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! We need to warn them about this. Everyone run! It's coming to destroy you! Listen to me,
I felt
student.
pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable
Perfection.
experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
That was my favorite so far.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
My bad. The performance is beginning. Places, please. Don't worry, I'll perform for everybody. In this scene, you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Okay. If you say so. Good, stay right there. The one across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Sorry I have to leave. Where's the bathroom? Let's start with hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her, to be a human being. Can I get off the wall? Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. Well, let's be honest. I'm scared. No. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You know, we'll open a leading or a non-leading question. You must have worked really hard. You're messing it up all again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this. Everything was riding on this. Oh, I can walk now. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Lamp! Go to trusty lamp. Lamp is doing nothing for me. Okay. We're in prison again. What's new? Oh. Okay, yes, now this is working.
The game ends with this
what it was
eerie
like.
premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life.
He'll go
The
to jail?
solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success,
perfect, wonderful.
the answer
This is
for
really
Coda
wonderful.
is to withdraw, to hide
Aw.
himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just
Great.
becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with his person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay. Okay, we are a superhero or something. Okay, I'm gonna try and give it a little bit more before I open my eyes, but... Oh. Captain, what can we do? Really? Okay.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already.
Help,
It's pretty
I'm
much
blind. I
impossible to
can't
solve
see anything.
otherwise.
What's
And there
going
is
on?
a solution, by the way.
No one can see anything. Oh, it's the whisper machine. Please, someone talk to me. Oh my god, an asteroid. No, a giant door. Oh, we're about to die. Okay. We're gonna... Okay. Ah, okay. Is there any buttons I can press? Please tell me how to solve this. Yes. What that? The only... Scrap. Okay. Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Oh crap. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said,
don't
I was
feel it
getting
anymore.
concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking.
Keep going,
So
keep talking.
where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
You know, so far I'm kind of waiting for all of this to come together in some way. I don't feel like we actually know much about, you know, this Coda person outside of, you know, that they feel very trapped and they like making prisons. I mean, a lot about like their, you know, mental state, but not a lot about who they actually are, which is making me think this is somehow still connected to the narrator. I'm not sure at this point, but it's definitely interesting so far. The narrator makes the metaphors very explicit, which I do think is interesting, and it makes it very easy to play because like it's kind of telling me how to interpret the game. But I am enjoying it so far, and I'm waiting for it to come together. All right, where am I? Hello, is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I am lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? I can take you to it, but
If
there's
the
a
last
problem.
game
It's
featured
guarded by a
Coda talking
difficult puzzle.
explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to
If you
11.
can help me solve the puzzle, we'll
Now,
find the
put
machine.
yourself in
Deal.
my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting
Deal.
signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet still he keeps making games. He keeps
Perfect.
throwing
Come
himself
along,
into
I'll
the
show it
grinder
to you.
even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Oh gosh.
Because
I know the answer to
from
this
my
puzzle.
perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he
I've
was.
solved this puzzle
He was
before.
in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to
Wonderful.
anyone,
Can you tell me how to do it?
not releasing them onto the internet. And so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? I'll just press the switch here. Nice. Ah, that was so simple.
You can't
I can't believe I
talk
never solved it
yourself
before
out
this.
of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
What are you talking about? Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Okay, making games is simple. Why did the walls just crumble? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy. It never stops being easy. Well, I'll do what it tells me to. Yes, keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Every time I make something, I feel better about myself.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create.
None of this is helping.
For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
I promise this will work. Please continue. Yeah, his games definitely seem to be vent games. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. Yes, more. Keep
I don't
going.
know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how
will
else
be
to
saved
explain
by
it.
my work.
I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt
The
so rotten.
prison.
I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
So it seems like Coda is a woman. My mistake. I think I've been saying he. Ma'am, glad to see that you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. We'll get this over with. Now let me in. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Oh boy. Hi, press. We're making the machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
stopped. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. You stopped feeding us. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you've put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? That answer. So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I'm most intrigued by 3 because it seems the most honest here. Apologize for these. Nothing? Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. No, nothing. Alright then. I will apologize to the people on your behalf. So, this machine... Oh. Hi everybody. Thanks for meeting me here. I have a lot to announce. My followers! It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. I like the second one. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Oh, will we destroy the machine or everything that the machine has created? Well, let's do created, because I'd rather destroy everything it's created than, you know, Coda itself. Yeah, I would actually like to destroy the prison rooms. Oh gosh. I don't know if I want to do this. Poor Coda. Dang. Are we really gonna destroy it all? Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. Isn't that what you're scared of? Exposed to the view of others every day forever? Seen in naked clarity?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself.
Okay, Coda is.
I'm thinking that Coda's stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure there are a lot of... Ooh.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Oh no. Put down your weapon. I would like to. I would very much like to. No, 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 no. I don't want to do that. Gosh. Yep. I'm sorry, Coda.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Oh no.
So let's take a look.
Yeah, that segment was very interesting. I do think there's something to be said between, you know, creating art and external feedback and validation. A lot of people, you know, feel like they need that for their work to have meant something.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
You know, if these games... Oh my gosh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
You know, if these games are real, which at this point I still don't think they are. I think these were created like inside of this game for this purpose. There wasn't actually someone named Coda. But if that is the case, and then I really feel for him. What? Oh, a bridge over. I thought it was actually going to show like an outline of the maze. And for a second I thought that the maze's answer was just a straight line. Like the game in Undertale, like the puzzle in Undertale.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
I was not close. 1, 5. Oh, great. 1, 6. 1. Oh, shoot. Oh my god. Seven. 151617.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Thank you,
So
Coda.
even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's
You're
actually
stuck.
just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he
This
stood
music
for.
is pretty.
I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, this game so far has kind of been connecting, what Coda has created to his own mental state, but
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
games are meant
But he
to be
stopped
interpreted by
and
you.
left. And it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Dear Davy, thank you for your interest in my games.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Hmm. Wow. I think Coda really only made the games for himself, to help him process his own feelings.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You've so infected my personal
And
space that
the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Would you simply let
And then
them
you
be what
stopped.
they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
When I'm around you, I feel
does that
physically
mean?
ill. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything. I always want to run through the door. Oh, shoot. Oh. Oh.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Well, that was a twist. Coda's work is for Coda, not for anybody else.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
I missed that.
Solution. 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 I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Maybe he does. You know, even if he did make the games out of a bad mental state,
Even now, the
sharing
disease
them
is
without his
telling me to
consent?
stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
We're under the games, in the abyss. Fun, fun, fun.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
You know, I do think this is somewhat personal for the creator, considering he made Stanley Parable. So I bet this is kind of his own, you know, piece of himself to come up with another game after the Stanley Parable success.
What now?
It must be a lot of pressure.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna...
I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
Desert level. Where's the lamp? Let's all fall into the hole. Hopefully it leads us to another prison. Let me out, let me out, let me out. Oh, gosh. Well, looks like I'm going to have to sacrifice myself. Goodbye. This was one of my favorite parts of the game, is that very first level where it took us up into the sky. Oh. See, this is beautiful. Something life is a maze.
Turn back,
4R.
turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave.
Huh.
Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles.
I don't know if I understand this game completely,
And you're so tired.
but I did really enjoy it.
But I know that you're strong.
I'm kind of quiet. I feel kind of quiet just because I'm
So turn back.
processing everything.
Turn back.
You know, that's something that I am going to be thinking about for a while. Chapter select. I wonder what they consider the different chapters. Oh, the games. You know, I like this because I kind of don't remember all of them. Backwards was fun. Lecture was a good one. Well, I did enjoy that a lot. So this is my first video, and thanks for joining me if you watch this far. Yeah. I really did enjoy this game. I think there's a lot to it, and a lot that's meant to be interpreted, like on a personal level. So, I think I would have to think on it more to come up with a better conclusion on it or to analyze it, but it was a good game. So, thank you.